truth, or you're tired of being so confused. You feel like you're more fucked up than the lies on the evening news. Well, just step right in. We can talk about it all as friends. And if you want, we can hug and kiss and make up for the party ends. Agree or disagree, stop offering me. 'Cause I'm everything you want, damn sure what you need. I won't tell no lies, back up all the facts with truth. And if you can't get down with that, you must be somebody's dog.
When you get a sec, check out my buddy Matthew Spear over there at the Dumb Show. Dumbshow.com. Get to see people like yours truly right here. Maybe that's a reason for you to not check it out. But check it out anyway. There's a lot of people better than me on there that a lot better stories. But check them out, dumbshow.com. Matt, take care, buddy. God bless you, everyone.
Come on, man. Can you feel the pain? Into him now, about this new world. Ain't no track. Papa's got a brand new
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me Show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me Show. Matthew Spear from the Don't Unfriend Me Show. Olivia and I will be here tonight, but she's not going to be on for, probably about 10 minutes or so. So we thought we would do something kind of special and new. Exciting and new. Come aboard. We're expecting you, the Love Boat. And we'll do something fun. We're going to watch a NewsMax special documentary from Jack and Mandy Del Rio, who are guests of the show, and we love them to death. Before that, March 26th, Brian Cook, that's tomorrow. Brian Cook will be in office. United States Marine Corps, and overall, generally a good dude, will be in-house. And we'll be having a really good time talking about that with him. Scott Lloyd from Front Royal, Virginia, a guy who was cheated out of the chairman position for the RNC. We'll talk a little bit about that. Jessica Lynch will be in-house, POW from 2003. The real story, she's going to talk about what actually happened versus what the media said happened. Damani Felder, April 3rd, every Friday in the first of the month, Damani will be here. And then the older millennial from Twitter, very important conservative voice. He's awesome. He's moving up. He's kind of doing what I've been doing on Facebook, doing it on Twitter, and Damani's been doing, and it's good to see him being successful. He will be here as well. Got a good show for you tonight, jam-packed. Like I said, Olivia will be here. I want to get started on this NewsMax documentary, and it's about the nuclear weapons gap. Before we start on that, the show goal is here, ready to go, and you can donate to thedumbshow.com/donate. Helps the show out, helps us grow, all that type of stuff, fun-loving stuff. Help us out if you can. You may notice, wow, the camera looks different. Well, that's because we got new cameras. We're waiting on a couple of lights to come. And just to kind of help balance out the front right here area. And we've got some lights coming. That'll be good. And then we should be set. The studio will be rocking and rolling. So we hope you enjoy the new cameras. We're about ready to hit 396,000. I think that's going to happen while we're on the show. It seems to be moving pretty well. So look for that. And if you want, you can go pick up hats, shirts, stuff like that over at thedumbshow.com. And you can donate to the show. We don't have sponsors. We got rid of that. We don't have any of that type of stuff. We are just 100% owned and operated out of a house in our studio, which is in our house. And my wife and I, Leroy and Amy, run the show. And of course, all the Dumb Nation who are watching right now. Folks, please do me one last favor. Hit that like button, please, please, please. Helps. And share it in order to get the numbers up. Let's get going. This is the nuclear weapons gap. Now, we had a previous show which talked about socialism and Marxism in America, which was done by Mandy and Jack, and it was just absolutely excellent. So we wanted to kind of recapture that. And because we're in a position with Iran and constantly talking about, love you, Matt. Love you too, Mikey. We were talking about nuclear proliferation and then also nuclear holocaust when it comes to World War III. And if Iran gets a nuke, and what does that look like? And could this be the end? And well, it's really important to understand is that there's something in the middle there between nuclear proliferation and nuclear holocaust is nuclear preparedness. And this video does a wonderful job of really explaining why the U.S. is behind the game, at least in the sense of that since Donald Trump took over in 2017 as president, got better, but there's still a long game to go. And China is building nukes at a rapid rate. Russia is rearming themselves and realizing that the conventional forces that they have are going to be in constant struggles with Ukraine, and therefore really getting back to what they can do right now, very similar to Iran, which is building up strong defensive structure. This is what Russia is going to be doing. It's a great video. I haven't seen it yet. I've just seen portions of it in the sense of watching the previews, but still looks very, very good. It's about 25 minutes. Olivia will be here, and then we're going to get into the regular show, which we got a whole bunch for you. So hang tight, watch this, enjoy. Questions and all that, absolutely mandatory. If you have anything, let us know. And don't forget to donate, folks. We can't go through a half hour with no donations. That would kill the momentum. So see what we can do on that. Here we go.
China and Russia could have twice as many strategic warheads as we do within a decade.
China, they are building up their nuclear forces at a speed that is breathtaking.
Now, the Russians have had a big military buildup, and they've modernized their nuclear weapons.
Have we invested the time and resources to every adversary who has nuclear weapons? The answer is no.
U.S. nuclear posture is grossly insufficient to deter a nuclear war.
Our nuclear forces are aging.
We have to rebuild the arsenal if we're going to ensure the safety of the American people.
We want to say to any adversary, you're not going to be able to escalate to a nuclear fight.
The survival of our nation state is at stake.
Are we entering a new nuclear era? For years, nuclear deterrence relied on a kind of uneasy stability, knowing that any first strike would guarantee destruction for everyone. But in today's fragmented world, safeguards are falling apart.
We are now living in the most dangerous nuclear gap ever in world history. Russia has approximately 5,500 nuclear warheads, and the United States has about 5,100. But the majority of these warheads are in storage or are retired and awaiting dismantlement. The strategic count for the Russians is a little more than 1,600 deployed nuclear warheads. The United States has roughly 1,500 deployed strategic nuclear warheads. The issue of a gap between the United States and Russia, there may be a nominal gap, but the problem was we weren't really tracking the Chinese strategic warhead count.
In the Cold War, we had one peer nuclear adversary. That was the Soviet Union that challenged the United States. It was one-on-one. They did something, we would do something, we would do something, they would do something. Now, with China being the fastest growing nuclear power on the planet, we have two peer nuclear adversaries.
China right now is estimated to have 600 strategic nuclear weapons. The Pentagon estimates that they'll have 1,500 by 2035. China and Russia could have twice as many strategic warheads as we do.
Strategic weapons are designed to deter a strategic attack on the American homeland. These are warheads that were designed to turn Soviet cities into glass. And what you have is a pretty credible deterrent posture that gives the adversary pause to say, today is not the day for me to carry out a nuclear strike on the...
You guys, this segment is brought to you by Newsmax and created by Mandy and Jack Del Rio. For those who are just walking in, you can go over to the Newsmax app and get this for free right now. Just download Newsmax, and they will allow you to stream this and plenty of other shows and docuseries and even watch the news live if you go on over there, unlike Fox and others who force you to have a cable subscription. So head on over and get the Newsmax app. You can watch this there at your own leisure, and then go see Jack and Mandy's Del Rio's other creations that they've done a wonderful job on. Thanks.
The Americans. Strategic weapons can be delivered by any one of the legs of our nuclear triad.
So the nuclear triad at the strategic level has very unique traits. The land-based, the ICBM leg, is incredibly responsive to any set of strategic circumstances that arise. The sea leg is highly survivable and with the ability to respond in a way to ensure that there is no strategic decapitation that might occur with a strategic attack. The bomber leg itself is very flexible, obviously being conventional and nuclear. You have the ability to really adapt to whatever options the president might need or want at a time of crisis.
In addition to our strategic nuclear arsenal, we have our tactical nuclear arsenal, also known as non-strategic nuclear weapons. Non-strategic nuclear weapons are much shorter range. They can't go from one side of the planet to the other. They can only be delivered within a theater of, say, 1,000 to 2,000 miles, and they have much lower yields.
We want to have the capability to target specifically an adversary's military forces versus having to hit something that's a wide area target. Tactical weapons would be used as options leading up to something less than a full exchange of nuclear weapons.
Tactical nuclear weapons, they're intended to signal to the adversary, don't progress to the next step on the escalation ladder. The Russians hold advantage in tactical nuclear weapons. The United States has 200, the Russians have 2,000. We don't have the capability right now to match, let alone overmatch.
So how we got to this point.
Okay, so just a little bit of inside baseball here that's a great point. You're right. Tactical nukes are limited range. They're usually going to be similar to a short range ballistic missile or a medium range ballistic missile, which you're learning all about with Iran right now. But also understand is that our integrated air defense systems and our countermeasures to those missile systems is the delivery platforms that Russia would use to bring those into an event horizon are extremely limited. This is the trade-off. Is the United States started focusing on ICBM acquisition, intercontinental ballistic missiles, because of its geopolitical or geoposition from where it's at on the planet, is that we have no hostile country to the north, we have no hostile country to the south. Russia is obviously the Bering Strait, and Alaska is a huge buffer zone between them and us. The Jiak and Jin Gap up in the North Atlantic also is a massive gap. The Atlantic Ocean, going one way 9,000 miles and going another way 3,600 miles, provides a very large barrier. So that leads us to be able to recognize any underwater threats, which would be sub-related Typhoon-class submarines and other submarines, Akula submarine-based submarines that could launch Tomahawks with the ability to deliver a nuclear payload at that range. The Akula class can't do that. So you're talking about the Typhoon class, which is an outdated submarine. There's also other submarines that the Russians have. The Chinese as well, is that these submarines are not a threat to the United States in any way, shape, or form. Our sub and our Navy are 10 times superior. Then you would have to go to their bomber divisions, and Russia's still using old Bear Foxtrots. China doesn't even have a reliable bomber at this point that can deliver a payload under stealth. So a lot of these things where these tactical nukes are not a big concern for the United States. Still, they have a ton of them. And if we were to be attacked from multiple angles somehow in a situation, they obviously could hit our coastal cities. But the heart of the United States is in the middle of our country, which is surrounded by 2 continental divides of mountains. You're talking about, being protected from any type of outer radiation or shield blast or secondary type damage based upon this large valley of cocoon of protection from the Appalachians all the way to the Rockies. So the United States is in a very strong position to to really only be vulnerable by the golden shield area, which is what Donald Trump wants. These early warning systems that have the opportunity to hit these hypersonic delivery systems. And that's what he's focused on. They're not for integrated air defense. They're not to stop bombers. They're not to stop subs. We already have those things in place. They are there to intercept hypersonic missiles and intercontinental ballistic missiles. This is why he wants that Golden Dome and Greenland so very, very badly. Just a little information.
Was at the beginning of the Obama administration. New START was a treaty that was signed by President Obama and President Medvedev. It put caps on strategic nuclear weapons between the United States and Russia and basically said you can have 1,550 total warheads spread between bombers, ICBMs, and ballistic missile submarines. It did not address non-strategic nuclear weapons.
Beijing has refused to enter into arms control negotiations with the United States, because to have arms control talks, you've got to basically reveal the number of weapons that you have. They want ambiguity, so they're not going to talk to us in a serious way about arms control.
Russia overnight launched its long-anticipated attack on Ukraine.
On February 24th, 2022,
Russia invaded Ukraine.
Then President Biden authorized Ukraine to actually use U.S. weapons to strike deep inside Russia. So what is Putin's reaction? He made modifications to Russia's nuclear doctrine.
That if a country attacks Russia, even if it's not a nuclear country,
but if it is supported by a nuclear country, Russia reserves the right to use nuclear weapons.
So the Russians have said to the United States, look, if you want to continue this New START treaty, you've got to stop your support of Ukraine, or we're going to pull out of it. And so as we focus on something like New START with Russia, where we really need to put our focus is on China.
China has launched large-scale military drills in the waters around Taiwan to deter the self-governing island from seeking independence.
The concern with China is China actually executing an invasion plan of Taiwan. There's grave concern that President Xi of China is moving toward a kinetic phase of the conflict. So the question always is, if, and I think it's really when, China invades Taiwan, will we be drawn into the conflict? I think it's unequivocally yes.
China is building a force of low-yield, theater-range, nuclear-capable missiles that can hit our bases from Japan to Guam to northern Australia. We have no non-strategic nuclear weapons in East Asia. We pulled them all out in 1991 at the end of the Cold War. Let's say China hits an American base in the region. We can respond with an ICBM that was designed to lay waste to a city, but
They were not designed to engage in discrete military warfighting options.
But then once you get into what's called an escalatory spiral, your adversary goes a little bit higher than you, and you go higher than him.
How do you get out of that spiral? Because the goal is not to fight and win a nuclear war. The goal is to deter that war from breaking out in the first place.
Now, the Russians have had a big military buildup in the last 15 years, and they've modernized their nuclear weapons. We did not put the investment that we needed into modern weapon systems, and one of the places that we really short-circuited it was with our nuclear arsenal.
We look at China. They are making massive investments. They are building up their nuclear forces, their triad, at a speed that has been described as breathtaking.
Our nuclear forces are aging, and
we need to make sure that we have a nuclear force that is credible, that is safe, that is reliable, and that deters our adversaries.
We have multiple threats. You have China, you have Russia, you have a potential adversary in the form of Iran. And North Korea is an adversary who has nuclear weapons as well. So when you look at the scope of nations which could potentially threaten us with nuclear weapons, it's not only a gap between Russia and us or China and us, it's the world and us.
The world is more dangerous right now than during the Cold War. You haven't just got the United States and Russia nuclear arsenals. You got China, you got Iran, and you got North Korea.
North Korea has launched a missile over Japan, sparking anger in Tokyo. The rocket came down in the Pacific Ocean, and there are no reports of damage.
Probably the recent example with North Korea would be when they were routinely shooting systems over Japan. You don't know if it's actually a nuclear attack. And so that opportunity for miscalculation is very, very destabilizing.
The United Nations nuclear watchdog says Iran is not far from possessing a nuclear bomb.
Iran, for 40 years, has been trying to develop nuclear weapons. They have wanted and sought the destruction of the state of Israel, kill all the Jews, destroy Israel, destroy America.
We are in a dangerous situation. And when you're talking about
Folks, we're desperately being throttled by Facebook. This is what happens whenever you say the truth. So, you know, if you guys can share, that we'd really appreciate it. So this is unfortunate. You show something like this and you know, you can't have people hearing the truth. God knows that would scare the hell out of them. So do us a favor, get this thing shared out if you could, please. Thanks.
a multilateral world where Russia, China, North Korea, Iran have the potential to do something against us or our allies. Do we have the nuclear weapons available to stop that threat? And I would argue the answer is no.
At the height of the Cold War, the U.S. president had many nuclear options well beyond the strategic triad. In Europe, in the Pacific, we had the Sargent missile, Pershing I, Lance. We had Matador and Mace. We had a lot of capability.
The Cold War was this dynamic between the United States and the Soviet Union. Both sides built up huge militaries and also these enormous arsenals of nuclear weapons. We came close to nuclear exchanges on more than one occasion. And in the 1980s, President Reagan came in and said, I'm going to break the Soviet empire.
Reagan knew that the communist system was ultimately going to collapse because it really wasn't a great way to govern people. He just wanted to hurry it along, that collapse.
And part of that was through increased military buildup, the nuclear arms race, which further burdened the Soviet economy, and promoting the Strategic Defense Initiative, which was pejoratively called Star Wars by its opponents. But this was, we're going to build orbital missile defense platforms that can shoot down Soviet missiles before they hit the American homeland.
The leaders of the Soviet Union, they didn't know that we could do it, but they sure as heck knew they couldn't do it. Their technology was very primitive compared to ours, and Reagan knew that their economy was in trouble. The Soviet Union needed to sell oil at a high price. That was how they got their foreign revenues. So Reagan said to the Saudi king, will you pump more oil? And the Saudi king said yes. They pumped more oil. The price of oil went down. And what did that do to the Soviet Union? Their income stream was cut in half. So they were broke. They had to settle with the United States.
President Reagan and his efforts helped bankrupt the Soviet Union.
I hope this all sounds just a little bit familiar with what's happening in Iran and what's happening with Russia. Situations and dates may change, but economic viability is always dependent upon the overall imports and exports of your country. And if you are interdependent and your currency is based upon oil or wheat or potash or sulfur or whatever it may be, this puts the United States in a very illustrious position, considering that its exporter of movies and music. And that's just really the truth. Even though we're a number one net exporter on energy, it doesn't sustain the U.S. The U.S. is a thriving economy which depends upon the revenue of its people to generate its revenue. And it has found a homeostasis, a balance between taxation and starving your people to death. And that is the one thing that our republic has done well through capitalism, better than any other country, which usually moves into a feudal type government or a monarchy or a non-institutional democracy based upon theocratic rule or religious despotism. This is where the United States is successful. And that started with World War II. The Industrial Revolution and the plastics and being able to make tanks instead of refrigerators. And these type of things have propelled the United States into always staying ahead, being that countries depend upon us for a great many things and not one individual thing that can hurt us. Now, this is where AI technology comes in and energy comes in. This is why Donald Trump is focusing on the future and is focusing on semiconductors, because we are at the behest of Taiwanese semiconductor in Taiwan. And if China does move into Taiwan, we will have to retaliate. Hence why Donald Trump has fast-tracked AI and manufacturing plants for processing chips. So we don't have to rely on that stuff anymore, which is another way for a country to hold you hostage based upon what you bring in versus what you put out. folks, do me a favor, big time share. We need a lot of help, and we want to watch the rest of this. So help us out with some sharing.
And helped to win the Cold War in the late 1980s.
The nuclear competition certainly rolled back in the 1990s, and the opportunity was seized by both Russia and the United States at the time to roll back the total volume of nuclear weapons in the field.
In the 2000s, the September 11th attacks triggered 2 decades of American intervention in the Middle East. At the same time, Russia's economy was taking off. They were putting more and more emphasis on exports of petroleum, and Vladimir Putin made a conscious decision to modernize the totality of the Russian nuclear arsenal. And what they built was not only new strategic weapons and strategic warheads, but they built these new, long-range, in some cases hypersonic weapons that could be fired from a bomber, a land attack platform like a cruise missile, or a ballistic missile fired from a ship.
China is rapidly modernizing its nuclear weapons, and it's increasing the number of them substantially. This is the fastest building of an arsenal at the present time.
So for the last 20 years, the United States has spent an awful lot of money on defense. But where's it gone? To the forever wars in the Middle East. We didn't keep up with the technology.
Well, our nuclear forces are aging, especially the platforms. When you look at the B-52, it was built in the 1950s. It was meant to last until the 1970s, 1980s. And now with life extension, it's been projected it can last until 2040.
We've got to build new command and control centers and lay down new fiber optics because it was all put in place in the 1960s and 70s and 1980s.
We look at our submarines, the Ohio class. Those were built to last 42 years. They've lasted 41.
The Ohio's getting very old. And the backfill to that, the new Columbia submarines, that is years behind schedule as well. So the ICBMs that we have, the Minuteman III, are supposed to be retired in 1988. They're still there. They're supposed to be replaced by the Sentinel ICBM. Sentinel is...
Hayden just got back from school, and I guess a family that she knew in high school all died in a car crash, and one of the boys did too. So she's having a really, really tough day right now. So just want to let you know what was going on, because I know everyone's going to ask. So FYI, Mom took care of her, and we're going to on with the show and then go take care of her.
Years behind schedule.
The presumption for the Sentinel was they would be able to reuse the existing Minuteman silos spread out through Wyoming and Montana and the Dakotas. But the problem is, that's 70-year-old concrete. This is going to be a huge civil engineering effort to make new silos.
We need to make sure those platforms are replaced by new ones that will continue to maintain our deterrence.
The U.S. has started to build plutonium pits again. These are the devices that trigger the first explosion that then creates the second explosion in nuclear weapons. But the process is extraordinarily slow.
The challenge is we haven't made a pit since 1992. Very, very few people in the workforce at NNSA still exist that were part of that. A little concerning here because the Russians and the Chinese have been on a pit frenzy for decades.
The U.S. nuclear umbrella protects America's treaty allies. And there's been a number of countries that have expressed concern about whether the United States would defend them.
The UK has their own weapons, as does France. But beyond that, Europe is kind of dependent on us. Same in the Pacific. Japan, South Korea, and Australia have been under our nuclear umbrella. The moment there's doubt in our ability to protect these countries, because these countries have their own very robust civilian nuclear programs, do we want even our own allies to have nuclear weapons?
We are entering a new nuclear age. There's no such thing as a regional conflict anymore. Every conflict has global implications. So we've got to be concerned that we are on the edge of global catastrophe.
We are currently in the third nuclear age. The first one was defined by the Cold War. The second one was the post-Cold War era of rough cooperation. We're now in a world in which China seeks nuclear advantage over the United States. And Russia maintains nuclear weapons that can be delivered on a variety of platforms. North Korea is building nuclear weapons as fast as they can, and Iran is a nuclear threshold state. In addition, the Russians have suspended the New START arms control agreement, which means we are entering a world without any types of arms control agreements amongst the major powers.
In 2018, Russian President Vladimir Putin unveiled a whole arsenal of new type of weapons. Satan II, Burevestnik, Kinjal, Kaliber, and at that point, they started developing Oreshnik,
which is a
hypersonic missile
that
can be equipped with a conventional nuclear warhead.
We do not have hypersonic weapons that work.
One of the differences between a hypersonic missile and an ICBM is when an ICBM is fired,
it goes out of the atmosphere and then it has an arc,
then strikes its target. A hypersonic missile
doesn't go all the way out of the atmosphere and back in. It just goes up a little bit and comes right over.
And it can change its trajectory along the way.
And it could be at the United States in a matter of minutes. And we have no defense for this.
The Russians also had this thing called the Poseidon. It's really a nuclear-powered miniature submarine. So if it had a 5-megaton warhead and was lurking off.
Mr. Hollandaise, donate $50. Let's get the donations flowing. Thank you. That would be awesome, dude. Considering we're getting throttled to all hell by Facebook. Thank you.
Off one of our major ports, and that was detonated. Could that create a tsunami effect toward New York Harbor? It could create quite devastating consequences. Now, China has hypersonic ballistic missiles that have a hypersonic glide vehicle, and they've actually demonstrated an around-the-world capability. So those are some capabilities that the Chinese and the Russians have, which we really don't have.
Clearly, we would be worried if China and Russia found it amongst themselves to partner and ally in a way that we kind of partner and ally in the West. So we have to watch very carefully and closely how they integrate from a military perspective.
Just 20 days before Russia invaded Ukraine, China and Russia declared their no-limits partnership. Since that time, we have seen China opening up its financial and banking systems to Russian institutions which have been sanctioned, and China's been selling weapons and dual-use items to Russia. We also have to assume that the North Koreans and the Iranians will be on the other side as well.
The United States made it clear that the Russians have the capability to put a nuclear weapon into orbit. That would be a violation of the 1967 Outer Space Treaty. If that nuclear weapon was detonated in low Earth orbit, it could do an enormous amount of damage to all the satellites that are in Earth orbit. Or it can be dropped from space onto a target on Earth with little to no strategic warning.
The Chinese space station, Tiangong, has military uses. The Chinese have been practicing with their satellites to attack ours, but we don't have a permanent establishment in space that we can use for military purposes. So we are very much behind the Chinese in this.
We have to reestablish from the ground up a basic deterrence philosophy that matches the current threats.
In 2023, Congress had a Blue Ribbon Commission, and they issued a report that said we need to continue on and build new ICBMs and new ballistic missile submarines and new bombers and new warheads. But we don't have enough weapons with diverse set of characteristics that are necessary to deter your adversaries from carrying out a strategic attack on the American people or its allies.
I drew up a piece of legislation, the Restoring American Deterrence Act, and we were able to get a lot of that into last year's National Defense Authorization Act. We have to make sure that we have a system that's credible. The main focus of our nuclear deterrence is to not ever use it, to prevent wars.
Brian Moody donated $10. Thank you, Brian. We appreciate you. Trying to catch up with all this stuff with Olivia working on them. So thank you so much, Brian. If anyone else had donated, they're probably in the coffers. We're waiting to get them posted. So thank you.
Military ever.
President Trump started Space Force.
He authorized the development of
new tactical nukes. And he also established the Golden Dome missile defense system
to shield the United States.
President Trump said,
Iran is not going to have nuclear weapons, period.
The United States has carried out massive precision strikes on 3 key nuclear facilities in Iran, obliterating them.
What message does that send to the world? Russia has to look at us and say, wait a minute, we're negotiating with America. The Chinese have to look and say, he's a pretty formidable guy. Then the rest of the world will look at the United States and say, we better get on the right side of you.
Clearly, our strategic systems are the embodiment of our peace through strength mantra, and the support we've seen very directly from President Trump's administration That is a focus area that they're working on. The sustainment of our current system, but the modernization to the next generation of strategic systems is underway, and it's very real.
We need to examine our weaponized technology and what we have available to use and try to figure out how to counter the adversaries and make sure that ours is effective and can get through their defenses.
The good news is we also have about 3,700 warheads that are in storage that can be deployed. Our Minuteman III missiles can carry 3 warheads. They've been deployed with 1. So right there, we could triple the size. The Trident submarines can carry 24 missiles. And oftentimes, each one of those missiles that can carry 14 warheads has 1 warhead. So right there, we could greatly increase our nuclear capability.
Thank you, Penny, for
this
subscribing.
Is serious business.
Yes,
the survival
thank
of our
you.
nation state is at stake.
Right now, U.S. nuclear posture is grossly insufficient to deter a nuclear war.
We have to rebuild the arsenal if we're going to ensure the safety of the
Wait,
American
who did we
people.
just thank?
It's time we create a new system that is
What did
not
you just
dependent
say?
on the legacy system.
Penny from YouTube just subscribed.
Oh, thank you, Penny.
We
Sorry, I
need
didn't
to
see
keep
it.
up with modernization of our 3 platforms.
Our adversaries need to know
that the United States has state-of-the-art nuclear weapons.
The most important thing is to deter our enemies.
We want to say to any adversary, you're not going to be able to escalate to a nuclear fight.
Clarity and resolve prevent and deter conflict. The best avenue is always peace through strength.
Pretty powerful.
Yeah, it sounds like it was good.
Yeah, it's you know it's a little bit disturbing. To be honest with you, I think you know people need to realize that it's not always about you know the amount of weapons you have. It's the quality of those weapons and how they can be deployed. And that's the problem. And you can sit here and pontificate and try to figure out, okay, well, if they go ahead with hypersonics, then we go ahead and hit with this. If they hit us with medium range bombers, then we hit them with this. It comes down to this, is that the United States has the best form of early warning detection that's available. We have the best strategic bombers. We have the most military bases around the planet. We are in a strong position, but we do need to be concerned, obviously, with these type of advancements with other countries. So it's interesting. Did you get anything out of it?
Unfortunately, the 5 minutes, it seems like it would be very interesting to watch. I would like to watch the whole thing, but without seeing the whole thing, unfortunately, it was just a
yeah. So walk me through, Hayden. Probably people care more about that than anything right now.
About 20 minutes before the show started, we got an email from the principal of the school, very short, just saying that one of the students had passed away suddenly and unexpectedly. And then about 7 minutes later, Hayden called me in tears and said, "Can you please come pick us up? Practice has been canceled." I guess one of the leads in the show was this person's
One of
best
the
friend
students had passed away.
Okay.
and one of this person's best friends. So Hayden was next to her when she got the news. And
Oh my
I
God.
guess it was, so I think Hayden was more, she knew the kid. He was on the hockey team, very popular. She had conversations with him in passing, no classes. So she's not really a friend with him. It's more of an acquaintance and a peer. I think she's more upset at seeing the reaction of this girl that's in the cast.
Yeah.
Because apparently this girl is very happy and just chill and doesn't show a lot of emotion. She's just friendly to everyone. And apparently she just broke down. So I think Hayden's a little more upset about that and seeing that than anything else. And so, but I guess, because it didn't give any information in the email what happened, but I guess the entire family was in a car accident.
Yeah, that's horrible.
So yeah, that's one that the community is going to feel, which is very sad.
Well, we'll obviously pray for them. I hope they didn't go to our church, and if they did, then we'll obviously see how we can help the family, and then, you know, go to services. It's just, life's too damn short, you know, and then you got stuff like this that's just crazy too at the same time, you know?
Well, the thing is all these kids in Hayden's grade that were just starting to drive are scared of driving now. Hayden doesn't want to drive for a while. Well, that's what she told me.
She'll drive.
And
she's got to get over that.
Yeah, the friend that I tried talking to him. I drove one of her friends home, and she's supposed to get her license tomorrow. And she's like, I don't know if I'm going to go get it now. I tried telling them that they can't. It sucks, but they can't be scared.
Yeah, I mean, you could die just walking outside your house. We had a 2,500-pound block of ice fall from our roof that could have killed everyone in our family.
Luckily, it was at 10:45 at night, and we were all heading upstairs to go to bed. But
this thing was, you know, 3 feet tall and probably 15 feet wide. And it weighed at least, it cracked our concrete when it fell.
Cracked the concrete, took out several of our bushes that were right there.
It should have taken out, I mean, luckily it fell to it hit and it fell out versus, because it would have taken out our pillars. It would have taken out our entire, I mean, it would have been massive home damage. So you don't know when it's going to happen, and you just have to do your best not to. Folks, we are desperate need. We're finally getting some numbers up. Of course, we stopped talking about, you know, nuclear war, proliferation, and Holocaust. And then all of a sudden Facebook's like, oh, this is appropriate. Listen, just because something's scary doesn't mean it shouldn't be talked about. That's the way it works.
Exactly.
Jennings cooks panel for lies.
Scott always does.
He's so good at what he does.
He is. I love watching his videos.
Yeah, here's Scott Jennings just exposing them on CNN. Folks, donations, $60 is where we're at. $240 is what we're looking for. If you can help out, we would love that. And here we go. Let's get started with the show.
Is there a single report today of something going awry with ICE agents?
Well, thank God for 24 hours something bad didn't happen.
Maybe there is. There was an ICE agent refusing to identify himself, arresting a woman in an airport, freaking people out. They weren't even sure it was in San Francisco airport.
Well, what kind of an interaction was it actually? Do you know the situation?
It was an arrest. I don't know. Scott, what information do you have?
Who did they arrest? Now you're bringing it up. Who did they arrest?
No, I'm saying
internet. We'll need the internet.
What a goober. I mean, they all talk the same.
It was on the internet, so it has to be true.
Yeah, well, guess what? I found something that says it's not. Merry Christmas.
Well, not everything is what it seems, especially when it comes to left-leaning media. The video goes viral. San Francisco, they're outraged Democrats in California. What is happening here? Well, now we're learning the actual truth. What happened at this dramatic airport arrest. A chaotic scene, indeed, at the airport. A woman is on the ground crying. A child is nearby, and federal agents are detaining the woman. Let's get out to Newsmax correspondent Heather Myers, who is live in San Diego with both sides, and also the timing is quite interesting.
Is 1980s hair coming back?
I think so.
Is this okay? I'm just saying, where's Charlie's Angel? I'm just, you know, not that it doesn't look good. It's just, both of those hairstyles are very 1980s. It's like
the
Heather.
One on the right?
No, the one in red is Heather Thomas, and the one on left is Farrah Fawcett.
I don't know.
You don't know who Heather Thomas is?
No, I don't know.
You ever seen The Fall Guy?
I know
that
it,
TV show. You're just too young. It's okay.
I know of
You're
it,
too young. Heather, everyone knows who. Every guy knows who Heather Thomas is. We all had the calendar with her, and she had the pink bikini, and she was leaning up against a shack, an old wooden shack with license plates and hubcaps and everything. And yep, I remember that. I remember that poster. Of course, I remember Farrah Fawcett. That was a bright red bikini with her hair all like that. It's just a Heather. I'll show you the photos.
All this, Heather.
Well, speaking of that timing, Bianca, that arrest that the video shows happened one day before President Trump ordered ICE agents to help at airports across the country deal with those long security lines. ICE agents have never been ordered to go to the San Francisco airport so far. But now we're learning more about the woman who was arrested and exactly why immigration agents were after her in the first place. Here's a look at that video.
Leave her alone! What are you doing? Leave her alone! What the hell are you doing?
I hope you're so proud of yourselves. You on video now too. Yeah. Shame on you. Un-American piece of shit.
Well, the video has spread across social media, and it shows a woman crying and yelling as officers held her down and attempted to handcuff her while a child looked on. Well, the Department of Homeland Security issued a statement on X reading ICE officers arrested and...
That's Heather Thomas. No, that's not the Homeland Security advisor.
She looks familiar. What else was she in?
She's a Fall Guy. That's all that matters. She was in Fall Guy. That's it. She was in Fall Guy. Don't else to say. Fall Guy had a great song, by the way. Great song. But she was, that's Heather Thomas. She was smoking. Smoke show. Also a lot of nose candy for Heather Thomas. Allegedly. You know?
Allegedly.
Yeah. I mean, she just looked like she was taking the coke. What do we got there?
CJ Jenkins, best I could do for now. That's all wonderful. Great.
Hey, 2110. You don't ever need to explain that. That is amazing. Of course, then there's Farrah Fawcett, who was like everyone thought Farrah Fawcett was so hot. I didn't. You know, nice lady, sweet, but like no, not a smoke show in my opinion. But yeah, there's Farrah Fawcett. Yeah, so there it is. Some of you youngins might remember. All right, here's the rest of this BS.
Angelina Lopez Jimenez and Wendy Godinez Lopez at the San Francisco International Airport. These illegal aliens had a final removal order from an immigration judge since 2019. While being escorted to the international terminal for processing, Lopez Jimenez attempted to flee and resisted law enforcement officers. ICE is working as quickly as possible to repatriate the family unit to their home country of Guatemala. Well, before those details came out, California Democratic leaders quickly reacted. Governor Gavin Newsom posted this on X, reading, Californians, if you're going to the airport, it's essential to know your legal rights and how to be cautious around Trump's federal agents. He then posted a link with legal advice for illegal immigrants, including those with final orders of removal. Well, ICE agents have been helping with long security lines at 14 airports across the nation. None of them, though, are in California. Reporting live in San Diego, I'm Heather Myers. Bianca, I'll send it back to you.
Information.
Wow, you mean that they're not telling the truth and they're using it to gin up more outrage? Oh wow.
That's shocking.
Just appalling how unbelievably shocking this is. But wait a second. There's more.
Oh, there's more.
Just more. Senator Barrasso just absolutely crushes an unnamed senator. I'll tell you who it is. It's Chris Murphy. Because what the hell are you doing? Why are you here? Where are you? You got to tell me you're not here. Here. What the hell? You guys say I'm not on screen. There it is. So absolutely crushes Chris Murphy. Here it is. This is crazy. Listen to this.
This is what we're seeing here in this chamber with what the Democrats are doing because they do not want to fund the Department of Homeland Security that keeps our nation safe. Well, there is now circulating that is evident that the Republicans have all seen, which is a member of the Senate, the Democrat member of the Senate, on television telling the nation, this is a clip that when a member of the Senate says, this is a Democrat, the people we care most about, he says, are the undocumented. Not these people who are working every day. The people that Democrats care most about are the undocumented, the illegal immigrants, the people who are not citizens of this country, but are here and have been unleashed into this country, 10 million or more during the Biden administration. And that is what we're talking about here today on the floor, and why we will be voting later today, Mr. President, on the proposal that the Republicans have made that the Democrats agreed to 2 days ago, but now they have withdrawn their support because, as we hear from a Democrat spokesman and a Democrat senator, the people that they care most about are not the citizens of the United States. They're the undocumented, the illegal immigrants who are here among us today.
Every single person in that person's district or state, or since it's center state, should be demanding a recall.
They're going to give him a party. They're going to build a statue of him next to George Floyd. It's Chris Murphy. Watch this.
The negotiation didn't have a path to citizenship. It was entirely on their terms in order to get Ukraine funding, right?
Well, I mean, Chris, that's been a failed play for 20 years. So you are right that has been the Democratic strategy for 30 years, maybe. And it has failed to deliver for the people we care about most, the undocumented Americans that are in this country.
What was that? I mean, did he actually say
undocumented Americans that are in this country? Undocumented Americans that are in this country. For the people we care about most, the undocumented Americans that are in this country. For the people we care about most, the undocumented Americans that are in this country.
Wank!
They're not Americans. You're illegal aliens. You are not a citizen of this
They're
country.
just straight up aliens.
Exactly.
That's it. They're illegals. Oh, they're illegal migrants. No, they're not. Migrants actually go ahead and check in with a port of entry or legally migrate into the country. These people are illegal aliens. They are illegal aliens. Matt, why did the White House decline Elon's offer to pay the salaries for TSA? Is it a legal matter? Well, the thing is that Trump already had a ruling about distributing money. It's not the executive branch's job to do that. And they would have to give it to the House in order for the House to distribute it. And because the House controls the purse strings, and I think there's probably a legal precedent about that. People have donated before, but the Democrats probably did something to counteract that loophole. I don't know. I don't have the answer to you, but that would be my first reaction. It's a good question. I just don't have the answer. Someone said, was it a tree that fell on your house? No, it was a 3-foot thick by 10 to 15 foot wide piece of ice that went 7 or 8 feet back. And what happened is we got snow, and it got so cold. Ice, snow. And then it basically compacted on itself from the wind and the temperatures that it became a solid piece of ice. And then it fell, and it literally all of it came down at once.
Yeah, we did not realize that the roof of our front patio is metal because the rest of our roof is not.
Yeah, we can blame ice too.
Yeah, so it all just came off in one sheet. And yeah, it was loud enough to we are all like,
go like this. There you go. You just needed to react.
Gotcha.
Acquire your Zoomus.
Gotcha.
So there it is, folks. This is what we do here. Of course, that guy. Why didn't you call him out by name, Barrasso? Why didn't you call him out, Chris Murphy, Connecticut? Right? Why don't you just call it out? Why don't you just call him out? But throw him under the bus. Why? What is this, my esteemed colleague? You know, the first thing I would do if I worked as a government official, as a state legislator, Senate, I'd say my fervent and blood-deaded enemy across the aisle, the communist from the state of California, from the socialist, just call these people out, from the insider trading aficionado known as the alcoholic MC Hammer Nancy Pelosi.
MC Hammer.
Just label these people. So, you know, Nick Freitas had it right. I understand why he got out. I completely get it. Just ridiculous. These people are stupid.
Yes.
Keep sharing, folks. Please keep sharing. Keep sharing. We need it. We need it. We need it. We got to get you to share. Facebook, I guess, is screwing us over. They're screwing us over tonight. Rick Scott talks to Dems about pay. Watch this.
Now, I've got one of my Democrat colleagues in the Senate said, oh, I can't go without pay. I've got a mortgage. He's making $174,000 a year. You know what the average net worth of a Democrat senator is? $3 million. So people in the Senate want to make sure they get paid, but they're okay with TSA agents not getting paid. TSA agents can't pay the mortgage, can't pay the rent, can't put food on the table. They have to go to food banks in my state. They're quitting because they're sick and tired of being treated like dirt. It's the third shutdown in 6 months.
Liv, your thoughts?
I think it's a lot of BS. I mean, the freaking balls on that person,
known as the alcoholic,
to say that
MC Hammer Nancy
Pelosi, I can't go without my pay because I need to pay my mortgage. You probably have a net worth of $3 to $5 million, where the average DHS employee, a lot of them are probably living paycheck to paycheck right now. So what are they supposed to do? They're going to lose their homes. They're going to lose their cars. And since this is the third one in 6 months, they've already probably depleted their savings and have none.
Right. Just 3 times, 3.5
so
times, right?
They're screwing over. So they're, oh, woe is me. I can't pay my $10,000 mortgage and I'm not going to be able to make the payment on my yacht and go on my freaking European vacation this summer. If they didn't make the laws, I really, 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 really wish on the next federal election that it could be proposed where the people vote on it, to where when the government shuts down, because politicians are part of the government, that their pay stops too. That is only fair. Why in the world, if the government is shut down and everyone who is part of the government doesn't get paid, why do they still get paid? It doesn't make any sense. And it's not fair.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I've said the exact same thing. I've already established those exact feelings, and I will tell you, they won't. They're not going to balance the budget. They're not going to put these people in jail and charge them with crimes. Pam Bondi is not going to magically start marching people out in handcuffs. Dr. Fauci will never be held accountable. Pelosi will never have to return millions. They will never be held accountable for, the political lawfare and using the judicial system and the criminal justice system to go after Trump. Nothing's ever going to happen. Until I see it, I just don't care. I'm tired of playing that they will, and I'm not going to tell anyone they will. I like every time I hear, well, Pam Bondi, we have a new criminal indictment against. Who gives a shit? Nothing's going to happen.
Just roll my eyes.
Nothing's going to happen. You know what you need to do? You need to start taking these people out, and you need. The only thing that's going to change things is I'm not going to say it, but the only thing that's going to change it is 1776. That's it. Read Term Limits by Vince Flynn. And because it's just going to take a group of people to do it. Because nothing is going to stop these people from continuing to screw over America. They don't care. It's an illusion, and I'm not trying to be negative. I will continue to comment on politics. I will continue to comment on the current state of things, but I'm not going to sit here and pretend and tell you that things are going to happen. Watergate, Iran-Contra, check writing scandals, $17 million in slush funds to cover sexual harassment cases.
Which is just bullshit. Excuse my language.
COVID, NSA spying, the Patriot Act, FISA warrants. Happened with Donald Trump with Russian collusion, media silencing and censorship from the media.
Government shutdowns.
No, government shutdown. Nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to happen. We got to stop pretending that it's going to be. Mom Donnie, how are you getting bus money? Here's a perfect example. Mom Donnie has to find billions of dollars to give free buses away. And it's not important how I find it. I'm going to find it. But that just sounds awfully nefarious. Listen.
The other one, you're talking about fast and free buses and you're meeting with the governor. I've heard you talk about many times that you don't want to take money away from the MTA. You want to put money back in. It's something that she agrees with, right? We don't want to take away money from the MTA. How are you getting that money, the $700 million to make the buses free?
Dude, what is up with men sitting like that? I don't have a problem with a leg crossover. Okay. I do it. I've done like ankle to knee. Okay. What is up with taking your knee and putting it all the way over your other knee like a woman? Who sits like that? Who's a man? First of all, let me explain to you what's happening downstairs. And yes, I'm going to be graphic. First of all, he's under lights and he's in a full suit. He has a serious case of swamp ass going on. Guaranteed. The second thing is he is crushing his testicles, and whatever part of his mangina is longer than his belly button is being pinched to high heaven. That is not comfortable. The only way you could do that is if you're a gelding. Okay? Or a falsetto.
Or what was it on Game of Thrones? What was the dude with the bald head?
Oh, Littlefinger.
Not Littlefinger. It was the other guy who wore the robes.
Yeah, I got it. He was basically castrated.
Yes.
Yeah, well,
that one.
I'm just letting you know, every man in this place, that literally, Gavin Newsom sits this way. Well, Gavin Newsom sits that way.
Go figure.
You know who else sits at Fauci sits that way? Tallarico sits this way. Beto O'Rourke sits this way.
That should
You
say something.
effeminate, frickin' losing beta soy boy estrogen-laden douche plows. How can you possibly sit like that and still pretend you're a man? I don't understand.
The other one, you're talking about fast and free buses and you're meeting with the governor. I've heard you talk about many times that you don't want to take money away from the MTA. You want to put money back in. It's something that she agrees with, right? We don't want to take away money from the MTA. How are you getting that money, the $700 million to make the buses free, into the MTA if she's not for raising taxes?
You know, I think that the two clearest ways to raise that money is through the raising of the state's corporate tax to match that of New Jersey. I think that a lot of this is still a case to be made, whether it's the corporate tax or whether it's the personal income tax on those who make more than $1 million a year or more. I think that these are the clearest ways. I've also said that if there are other ways to raise this funding, the most important fact is that we fund it, not the question of how we do it, but that we do it.
Really?
What?
They're going to go ahead and raise the prices on the subway again to pay for the free buses.
Right. Right. Or maybe we could do more snow removal and we could have a snow cone making a thon.
We charge you to remove the snow. Would you like to come remove the snow and volunteer? But, you know, in order to do it, you have to pay us money to do it.
I don't understand.
Half their with majority of their high-end tax base fleeing the state. I don't understand how when he gets out of office that the city is not bankrupt.
Well, you heard what Hochul said. Hochul's like, no, we're not doing it. We're not going to raise the money. We're not doing it. She wants to keep businesses because she knows, unlike AOC, they're like, oh, well, New York City, we can just shed billions and billions of tax revenue and we'll be okay. No, you moron.
No, you can't.
You have to understand is that, yes, there are states that make $1 billion and then there's states that make 17 billion. But the reason why you make 17 billion is because you have an infrastructure that supports that type of revenue, which means that people are interdependent upon those monies. So the moment that you start shedding hundreds of millions of dollars, it impacts those billions of dollars. Economics 101, but to a communist, just give it all away for free and the people will work harder for you.
I'm wondering if Trump is going to move his business out.
It already is. He moved to Florida.
Oh, so like Trump Towers and everything?
Trump Towers are still, they can't move a tower.
Well, no, but like his actual corporate office of his business.
He runs everything from Mar-a-Lago. That guy doesn't go into New York ever. There's no reason to. Trump Towers was his office, but he does everything out of Mar-a-Lago before the presidency. Yeah, he's good. He's not going anywhere. Yeah. So stupid. So stupid. Folks, share, like, subscribe. $81.10, $220 to go on our donation. Hexeth, update on Epic Fury. Here it is.
Thank you, Mr. President. You're spot on. Never in history has a modern military, Iran had a modern military, a modern Navy, a modern Air Force, modern air defenses, leadership, massive bunker. Never has a modern military been so rapidly and historically obliterated, defeated from day one with overwhelming firepower. The air campaign that we've conducted, that Israel's conducted alongside us, was one for the history books, truly. And it's because we have a president of the United States that when he sends his warfighters out to fight, he unties their hands to actually go out and close with and destroy the enemy as viciously as possible from moment one. And that's why we see ourselves as part of this negotiation as well. We negotiate with bombs. You have a choice as we loiter over the top of Tehran, as the president talked about your future. The president has made it clear that you will not have a nuclear weapon. The War Department agrees. Our job is to ensure that. And so we're keeping our hand on that throttle as long as hard as is necessary to ensure the interests of the United States of America are achieved on that battlefield. This is not Iraq and Afghanistan. This is not a president who's interested in vague end states. He's been very clear with us about what we need to accomplish, creating the conditions for them never to have a nuclear capability, and that's exactly what we're doing in historic fashion. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Pretty clear?
It's pretty clear.
I mean, does it really need anything else? Let me show you the difference between Pete Hegseth, who they hit for not being professional, for being a college frat boy, everything else, not a real veteran. But
not a real veteran?
Oh, yeah, not a real veteran. Nope, not a real veteran, that his stars weren't awarded and that he wasn't a combat veteran like he stated and all the lies that they said about this guy. But he's got
to be joking.
Yeah, this guy's earned his keep.
Yes.
Here is the antithetical version of this, but another staunch military person in front of Elizabeth Warren. It's funny, when Olivia came back, she should have said, "Hey, do you want to have a beer? Hi, honey. Do you want to have a beer?
Hi, honey. Do you want a beer?
Do you want a beer? Want to have a beer?"
Yeah, I maybe you didn't hear my question.
No, he heard it, lady. He's just ignoring you. Okay? He can only hear 1/1024th of you because he doesn't like Indians. Here's this general who basically just says, dude, maintains focus, uniform code of military justice, the chain of command, plain and simple. Here it is. Watch this. Because, lady, he doesn't report to you. Elizabeth Warren, he doesn't report to you. He reports to the commander-in-chief and his chain of command, and you are not in it. You are a civilian. You mean nothing to him.
Yeah.
Whether you have oversight or not, there's about 3 or 4 echelons that you have to go through to get to him where you can make an impact on him. And even then, it's going to be the Uniform Code of Military Justice that holds him accountable, not some frickin' light beer drinking wannabe firewater squaw who literally changes her nationality based upon which college she's applying or which job she's applying. Here is Squaw Squawks a Lot.
My question was, will you commit to informing this committee if Southcom is directed to do something that you or your JAG thinks is illegal?
If I reported that to this committee, Senator, it would be through my chain of command.
But you would make sure that we got the information?
No, that's not what he said.
I would report to my chain of command.
And you would not take any responsibility for making sure we got that information. You do realize we have oversight responsibilities here?
Not against him.
Senator, I would work that information through my chain of command.
All right, that's a very concerning answer here.
Why is it concerning? Why? You are beholden to the people of this country, yet you don't listen to them. You're not acquiesced to their requests. You don't answer their questions. You don't hold yourself accountable based upon the merits of your actions. Why the fuck should he listen to you?
Exactly.
You wrinkled ass coochie prune. I am so sick of these fucking people.
Yes.
That is a general in the United States Marine Corps. Show some respect and deference. He could literally kill you with a paper clip.
Here, look, what's happening right now is very dangerous. We need our nonpartisan military leaders to double down on their commitment to following the law and speaking up when they are asked to break it. And Congress needs to be able to step in and rein in this lawless commander-in-chief and his self-styled Secretary of War. Thank you.
I'm going to give. You know, the thing that bothers me about her.
Everything? There's not just one thing.
No, there's multiple things. But my point is like, that is a man who has spent a lifetime protecting your sorry, wrinkled, white ass. And you didn't slap a sir on that? Not once. And then you said this is a serious issue. It's disturbing that he won't break the chain of command, which is essential to the core principles of the military and the UCMJ. So let me get this straight. If I was a political general, I would look at her and say, well, will you go ahead and keep breaking your oath to the Constitution of the United States and the citizens of this country? Well, I'm not doing that. Really? Because we're $37.6 trillion in debt, which is a direct threat to the sovereignty and safety of this country. How are you worth so much money? Could we take a look at your investments and your business ventures? Are you profiting off the backs of Americans with your investments into different stocks and trading? Can we please go through your life story about how you've lied about your nationality?
Oh my God.
Can we please go ahead and talk about your ties to the Socialist Party and you actually being a part of the squad, even though you set apart it, but you stand with Bernie Sanders and Amy Klobuchar and Tulsi Gabbard, who was also extremely progressive with Kamala Harris, and you had your own little squad long before the young teeny bopper bartenders and ex-cheerleaders who banged the entire football team came on, like Ayanna Presley and Rashid Tlaib, the brother fucker, and Ilhan Omar and the rest. I have some questions for you, Senator.
Yep.
So why don't you do me a favor and go ahead and write me a thesis and an answer to all those questions, and I'll give you my answer on a 1-by-1 piece of regulatory ass-wiping material known as toilet paper, requisition 37-426 in plain white. And you can go and fuck yourself. I've not used this language in a while. I can't stand people who disrespect military members for no other reason than you're trying to score political points, as you have the balls to say that that guy's political, to even infer that he's political. Ridiculous.
Yes, very.
Now you can go ahead and reclaim your time, you silly bitch. There. Thomas Austin donated $21.10. Sorry for the language. Can't stand people who do that to veterans.
You made up for lost time with that rant.
What do you mean lost time?
Well,
for cussing? Oh, yeah.
Yes.
At least I didn't call her a
Oh, my gosh, Matthew.
Just saying. She is. I'm not listen, I've defended Elizabeth Warren from time to time, is that she's innocuous. She's useless as tits on a boar. But at least she's authentic for who she is. She's a progressive socialist who is a dingbat. But she's not evil, okay? She's not Hillary Clinton. She's not Ayanna Pressley. She's not Rashid Tlaib. She's not Schumer. Those people are evil. She is just like Bernie Sanders, completely useless and will never pass any legislation because everything she thinks is essentially communism, socialism wrapped up in a democratic socialist blanket. Pardon the language. I know it's not becoming, but I'm not a military general, so I don't care. Tim says I was going to call her a cracker.
See you next Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday. Oh, a couch, a cornucopia, refreshing rant appreciated. What do you mean refreshing? I always go on rants. I just haven't been cussing very much. I failed miserably. Red states are cooking. Watch this.
Newly released IRS data showing red states gained $39 billion in net income in 2023. So compare that to blue states. They lost $43 billion.
What?
Madison Allworth is live from New York City with more. And Madison, even I can do that math.
Yes, Dana. You know, money moves. And new IRS data from 2023 show.
Just hold it right there.
It paused for you before you even had a chance.
I know. Where hardworking Americans are taking their hard-earned dollars. Overall, states that wound up voting for President Trump in 2024 saw that net income gain of $38.9 billion, while states that voted for former Vice President Kamala Harris lost $42.5 billion. Florida was by far the big winner with $20.6 billion in net gains, followed by Texas at $5.3,
Wait till you see the
Carolina
losers.
with $4.1 billion. That is people leaving other states to move to these no-income or low-income tax states. At the bottom of the list, California lost $12.9 billion in net income, followed by New York,
Olivia
Illinois.
with the inopportune donation. Deborah McLaughlin donated $10.80. Can we take one of those donations and swap it like $10.8 billion? That would be, we'll see you guys in about 100 years. California down $12.9 billion, but it's one of the most richest, lucrative states. Nope. Illinois, Massachusetts, New York, what do they all have in common? Liberals. Go figure.
And Massachusetts with losses of 10.5, 6.1, and 4.1 billion respectively. This is not just about the taxable income leaving. When families leave, so do their businesses, their jobs, and their recreational dollars. But rather than learning from past mistakes, states that lost residents and their income are looking to increase taxes. Washington State, which lost over $549,000 in net income, just passed a millionaire's tax this month after being a no-income tax state. California eyeing a billionaire's tax, and New York is also looking at increasing taxes on the wealthy. Tax experts say money has never been more mobile with remote work and AI. And truly the perfect case study is Massachusetts. They passed a millionaire's tax that went into effect in 2023. That year, the state lost 41,000 residents, and they took with them $4.2 billion in adjusted gross income. Those in the highest tax bracket accounted for 70% of that money. The math doesn't lie, Dana.
No. Newly released IRS data.
Can't wait to hear how all the red states are a bunch of uneducated rednecks and blah, blah, blah.
Mr.
Deborah.
Hollandaise, I found your soulmate.
Deborah-
Can't stand uneven numbers. Rounded it out.
Deborah Paris. Oh, Sherry, we take a stroll on the mandolin. We'll have a drink of gin as we sail on the Venice canals. As I roll a spaghetti meatball of my nose to ya.
I must apologize to our viewers for having to listen to that.
Underneath,
Dear, we're trying to gain viewers,
the
not
Venice
lose them.
sun.
Thank you for
Sure.
that.
It's
I
a good
really
song.
appreciate it.
It's one of my favorites. It's good. It's a good rendition. Thank you for donating. We appreciate you. Deborah Paris.
You got a serenade, Deborah B.
Dude,
You are
first of all,
so lucky.
I love the fact that she goes, I want my money back. You. How about that? That was a lot of work to do that on the spot. I had to rhyme all that. And bringing in shaved ice cream? Come on. Come on. Give me a break. What did Matt take? Yeah. Nothing.
A gummy? No.
I'm in a good mood. I'm always in a good mood. When am I ever in a bad mood? I'm in a good mood. What's wrong? Everything's great. Life is good. Matt reminds me of Bernadette Peters. Oh, jeez Louise. That's... She kind of would talk like this. Bernadette Peters was a little one. Olivia, pass him another beer. I don't drink beer. Whiskey.
We really don't. We don't drink it.
I drink Michelob Ultra, which I would never call that beer. It's just Michelob. Olivia, please make it stop. She can't make it stop. She loves it. You should. I sing to her all the time in bed.
That's not, no. It's not the type of singing you do.
It's more like you speak Portuguese, and you don't even speak Portuguese. Now all shares are going to see what we are watching. Carrie Revis Sparks, those mini subs and super subs are amazing. I appreciate you.
Oh, before I forget.
What?
Paul Rivera and Daniel Uer. I don't know how to pronounce your last name. Uer. Please email me.
Paul.
I have emailed
get your shit together.
Both of you.
Your former girlfriend wants to talk to you. Oh my God. Why didn't you just call him on the phone? I know you got his phone number.
I don't have his
Why don't you write him a letter at his home address? I'm
Honestly,
sure you got that too.
I could look at the email of his donation and get his phone number, but no. I emailed you guys. I just need to know what Paul gets the jacket and Daniel got the coffee. I just need to know what you guys want so we can hopefully put the order in this weekend.
Or just ignore him and we'll save money. And don't tell them, oh, we sent it. It's in the mail. No, by the way, jackets are going to be shipped out tomorrow. It's been very, very difficult. Buffalo Trace has a new creamed bourbon. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah. I don't know about that. Anyway, let's move on. Trump tackles fake news. Watch this.
President, your tariffs policy goes into effect tomorrow.
Yeah.
As you know, a federal appellate court today heard oral arguments about whether or not you had the authority to unilaterally impose those tariffs. I'm not going to get you to weigh in on the legal arguments, but you're weighing your decision to do that, your authority to do that based on a 1977 law. It's never been invoked before. Why didn't you invoke this law?
Well, we've been winning all along.
I just want to ask you, why didn't you invoke this law in your first term? You could have taken in billions upon billions of dollars in your first term, but you waited until your second term.
Yeah, because in my first term, I was fighting lunatics like you who were trying to do things incorrectly and inappropriately to a president that was duly elected. And we did do certain tariffs in the first term. If you look at China, China, we took in hundreds of billions of dollars from China.
On steel tariffs,
but
too.
when COVID came, the last thing I was going to do is tell France and Italy and Spain.
Riley, that is Triple H from the WWF, hon. That's Triple H. He looks like him because it's him.
And a couple of other countries that were going to hit you with tariffs. We had to fight the COVID situation when that came. But if you look at my first term, we took in hundreds of billions of dollars worth of tariffs, but you people didn't cover it very well.
Yeah. Yeah, Paul, why don't you get that to her? Why don't you also pay the back child support too? Seriously.
I do not have a child that is 27 years old.
That you know of. Seriously, that you know of.
I did not get pregnant at 18. So.
Okay, sad. That
say it.
Have you seen those TV shows where she's like, no, I was sitting on my toilet, man, and I had a baby. It just popped out. I had no idea I was pregnant, eh? And you're like, how do you not know you're pregnant for 9 months? Holy crap.
I knew I was pregnant the day I got pregnant.
That's because my super sperm kicked it into high gear. We know. We know. I'm serious, man. Jesse smokes Tarlov, not the way you think. He crushes her right here. This is amazing.
Oh, can I just jump in for a second?
Please, whatever.
I mean, Jessica asked a question that a 5-year-old would ask. When is this thing going to be over?
Stop it.
Okay, that's
Just
not a
stop it.
serious contribution
It
to
is
the discussion about a war, Jessica, okay?
Oh.
We knew what was the objective, and we're going about it methodically. If you don't know what the goal is, you weren't listening. Let me explain it to you this way.
It started out with regime change and ending the nuclear program.
There was never regime change.
There's never regime
He
change.
said today we already did a regime change because
we
you got
did when we
Ayatollah.
That wasn't the goal.
Look at Craig.
You're hyperventilating. Relax. Let me explain the war to you.
When have you, in the history of history, when have you ever told a woman to relax and that works? Come on. I got to say with guys too. I mean, wow.
Calm down.
That's never worked. That doesn't work. Nope, not with me. Nope, calm down. Lower your voice. No, I don't think I will.
Donald Trump lie about talking. That's all he does is talk. I mean, you don't think he's talking? He's talking to everybody. He was talking to Maduro right before he pulled him out of bed. He talks to Putin. He talks to reporters who call him at 1 o'clock in the morning. You don't believe that he was talking to the Iranians? Come on.
I didn't say that.
Of course he's talking. And he bought a lot of time, 5 days, for the 82nd
For the market
Airborne.
to have a good time.
For the 82nd Airborne to get into theater. I mean, that is a crazy conspiracy
And he fired
theory.
the guy, the woman who was going to be in charge of investigating it.
Okay, Jessica, no one knows what you're talking about.
Everyone does who pays attention.
Everybody on Blue Sky. Come on, Jesse.
Everybody knows he bought time to talk, to give peace a chance, but also get the Marines and the paratroopers in the region so we can secure the Strait and possibly secure Carg Island. Now, if that happens over the weekend, and it's what most people would consider a major military victory, what is the Democrat complaint going to be then? The Strait's too open? Like, you should have done this last week? I mean, we sustained a couple casualties. You know, this is war. There's going to be problems. It's not going to go according to plan. But to say the guy's lying about peace talks 3 weeks into the operation, and you're the CIA director, former, I mean, that's either the guy has TDS or it's a PSYOP to undermine the commander-in-chief and spew foreign propaganda on American television. You nailed it, though. The Israeli...
Wait a second. Tucker Carlson's the ex-CIA director? When did this happen? I'm sorry, I must have missed something.
And the Saudis...
Deborah says thank you for the serenade.
I know Deborah
lovely.
Puri loved it. It wasn't not the other Deborah who's in here who's completely ungrateful. See, Deborah, I'm going to go ahead and just put this right there. Thank you, sweetie.
Oh, my goodness.
Thank you for that lovely serenade. I feel honored. Been told a lot of times your name is pretty. It's very pretty. I love it very much.
Is it French, though? I'm assuming it is. But
it
is
says
French?
de Paris. How could it not be French, you stupid American? It's French. It's the language of love, my sweet little dove.
Oh, can I just jump in for a second?
Oh, Jessica Tarloff.
Jessica asked...
You know, I understand that job's hard. You know, I get it. Greg has gotten multiple liberals fired who have sat in that chair, and she's next.
Yeah.
Greg has had enough of Jessica Tarloff. And her usefulness is about done.
Looks can only take you so far.
Right, because I still think she's pretty. And honestly, I've seen her show, and she can be very well grounded sometimes, but she is not Harold Ford Jr., you know?
No, because he comes in, and when he's got a point, he defends it. But he doesn't go in there just to bash Trump and talk in circles, and everything that anyone says anything good about Republicans or Trump, and then she goes the complete opposite.
Well, here
it's
this
ridiculous.
is a really good. This is a really good point. By the way, Deborah says, "F you, Matt." Sorry, I would have serenaded you, Deborah, if you would have been a little more polite. But no, I mean, you had to be an uncultured American swine. Riley says, Jessica, I feel bad for her in a way because she has the heart to stand up there against people tearing her up on a daily basis. Very similar to Olivia. But here's the problem. Is she never meets halfway. She's always opposition.
Mm-hmm.
What I love about Harold Ford Jr. is he can still oppose, but he's like, yeah, but here's both sides of the argument. And I wish she has never done that. She just doesn't do that. And that makes her disingenuous. And there are times when the panel is not in full agreement with Republican decisions. They're not afraid to hit Lindsey Graham. They're not afraid to question Trump on things. And they do. They're fairly conservative and they're very pro-Trump, but they will flex the arms of indecision 2.0 once in a while. Jessica Tarlov never does that. She's always on the wrong side of everything, just like Juan Williams. Black, say white. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I could tell that Juan was about to be fired when Greg started acting like this to Juan. And I think Greg had enough. I don't know. You're awesome. Yay.
Deb's got a crush. It's okay,
Yay,
Deb. I have
you got
that.
the name right.
I have. See how jealous she is?
Yay.
See, she's jealous, Deb, but it's okay. Deb, I know you.
It was at this moment.
Retard alert! Retard alert, class!
You.
Special Officer Dookie reporting.
Deb, I got you. You and me, sister. She's not going to be much longer, so don't worry about it. I got you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to trade her in for a younger model. Send your resume and photos to matt@thedumbshow.com. Feet pics would be nice. I can forward those to Cash, too. Somebody over in the Rumble chat.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So Juan Williams, shortly before he left the show,
got fired.
He pretty much agreed with whatever. I can't even pronounce her name. Ilhan Omar or whatever. When she
Ilhan Omar.
Yeah, when
or
she was
Omer, as that other lady called her.
When she was talking about Israel, and this was a couple years ago, talking about Israel and blah blah blah, and he totally agreed, and that's when I was like, okay, and then he was gone about 3 weeks later.
Yeah, and like people don't understand how much power Greg has. Greg's like third in command at Fox. He has got a lot of pull, and he has been a writer, an editor, for a long time before he made it big, and he's been there since Red Eye. I mean, he's been there a long time. He's 25 probably.
25?
No, 20 to 25 years.
Oh, okay.
And I used to watch him on Red Eye all the time. So he's very important in the hierarchy of Fox. And if you piss him off, like today, Jesse reached over and touched Jessica's arm to get her to stop, because that was not going well. So she was making a mistake. Are you blurry?
I don't think I am.
No, it's just my glasses. It's just my contact.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
So yeah. So just something to think about. Donation.
It's JD Stillwell. Stillwell. It's
JD Stillwell. I can pronounce our fans' names right because I care about y'all. JD Stillwell donated $19.10. It's really hard being this halfway there, and we're living on a prayer.
Over halfway there.
Oh, we're halfway there. Oh, we're living on a prayer. Take my hand, we'll make it, I swear. JD Stillwell, thank you, buddy. $19.10. $151 on the nosy, pocket full of posy. $149 to make it to goal.
Deborah, there's your even number.
Let's rock and roll. We got another one for you. Goldman gets cooked by acting admin McNeil. This one's interesting. Watch this.
Would you rather have your agency fully funded so everyone can be paid and retroactively, or would you rather have ICE officers assisting you at airports?
If DHS is funded, TSA will be funded.
And would you rather have that, or would you rather have the ICE agents who are at airports right now helping you?
I think that if we don't want ICE agents...
Oh my God, why don't you guys use Democrat? Listen, Miss McNeil, you cooked his ass, and I love you to death. You're amazing, sweetie. You're awesome. But why don't you just do this? I'm sorry, Mr. Goldman, are you mansplaining to me? Have you ever seen a Democrat when you use their tactics against them and they're that's why you would cook Newsom in a debate. How many people on your staff are actually Hispanic, Gavin? Even though 37% of the state of California is Hispanic. Can you just imagine the mental gymnastic pretzel that he would try to get himself out of if you just use their vernacular against him? I'm sorry, did you misgender me just a second ago? Mr. Goldman? I'm sorry, what are you, a male or female? Oh, are there no other choices than male or female in your binary world, Mr. Goldman? If you just use their language against them, it is so beautiful. I wish she would have done it. It would have been a great opportunity for her to do this. She still does a good job, though. Here it is.
Would you rather have your agency fully funded so everyone can be paid and retroactively, or would you rather have ICE officers assisting you at airports?
If DHS is funded, TSA will be funded.
And would you rather have that, or would you rather have the ICE agents who are at airports right now helping you?
I think that if we don't want ICE agents
can you
working
just
at
answer the
airports,
question?
then we need to fund the
She
departments
did.
so
It's
that we
not a
can get back to
complicated
normal
question,
order.
ma'am. It's not a complicated question. Would you rather have
just call me
TSA
ma'am?
funded or ICE agents helping your agency at the airport?
Paying the employees for the work that they are doing is also not a complicated question.
I'm asking the questions.
Yeah,
and you're
it's my
answering.
talk show. Hey, this is my talk show, lady. I will ask the questions. Haven't you ever seen that video? My Nazi knock-knock joke? Haven't you? Oh my gosh, you haven't seen it, have you?
Let's watch this and then we can watch
Don't
this.
do that to me. Knock it off. This is funny. Haven't you? Okay, let's watch the rest of this, then we can watch it. That's a good idea. Here we go.
And I would like to understand whether you are happy to have ICE agents there or whether you would rather have your own TSA officers there.
Under normal order, TSA would be performing our operations, and that is the ideal state. But I am also thankful for ICE for being there to help alleviate the burden that our workforce is feeling because we are in the third shutdown of this fiscal year.
Would you rather?
Cooked. You need to remind me to get a thingy for for cooked. Yeah, for cooked.
Oh, you need to get a "you're fired" too, don't we?
Will you help me with that? Will you remind me?
Yes.
Appreciate it.
A thingy.
So, yep, for cooked. And okay, let's not get this way. When you get this way, you become really punchy. I don't like it. I don't like it when you're like this. You got to be nice and sweet now. Stop the punchy stuff. I don't like this. It's when you and I get in fights. I know when you get like this, you become punch drunk. I don't know why you're punch drunk, but stop it. Just knock it off. All right. So here it is. This is from a TV show. I don't know what it is. Or it might be from a movie. I don't know. I don't care. But this was real. And this was a cutscene. So these guys are both Jewish. And the actor on the right walks in. And the guy on the left, you guys have seen him. He's been in a lot of movies. He was in The Recruit with Colin Farrell. He was the opposition guy.
Okay, I know.
Yeah. So this is hilarious. Watch this.
Have you ever heard of my Nazi knock-knock joke, Louis? No. Knock-knock. Who's there?
We will ask the questions.
Now get out of here. Have you ever heard of my Nazi knock-knock joke, Louis?
Funny.
No. Knock-knock. Who's there?
We will ask the questions.
That is pretty funny.
Look at his face. I know.
Now get out of here.
He's just like, good one, dude. Get out of here. Oh, so good. We will ask the questions. Oh, so good. Suits? I don't know. I don't care. I told you guys I don't care. But even when I say I don't care, you guys still give it to me. Jeez. Is it funny? Is it good? Is it? Maybe we'll watch it. Maybe I care.
I'm punchy.
I think I care. I'm not punchy. You're punchy. You're doing the punchy thing. It's like you have a quip for every little thing. You just need another night like last night. You just need a repeat.
I just need some sleep. Give me that look. That's like
It's not the alternative. It's better
5 out of 10 nights that I've been able to fall asleep. Ugh.
Well, you know what you can do when you don't fall asleep.
We tried that last night.
That we did. You fell asleep though.
That's probably the reason why I couldn't sleep.
Hey, Candace, nobody owes you anything. Seriously. Suits, but you didn't like it? Okay. All right. Thank you, Chef Lady. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for telling me it suits. I really appreciate you very, very much. Nobody owes you crap, Candace. Like, who the do you think you are? Who do you think you are that people need to check in with you? She's responding to last night when I showed you the Charlie Kirk channel retort to Joel Kent supposedly working as a character witness for Tyler Robertson or as a witness for Tyler Robertson, that the government had other options and he was dissuaded from investigating other things. Here is Candy Pants. Here it is.
Body was buying those theatrics. I think a little too much hand action there. You know, you're like kind of doing a lot of this.
Is she getting blacker? I mean, usually black people get whiter in when they get more money, but looks like she's getting blacker. I mean, is that racist for me to ask that question? I'm just wondering. I mean, is she getting blacker because she's married to a gay white male? Hey, have you guys seen the lesbian photos of Candace grabbing other women's asses and kissing on them and the videos when she was, a dyke?
No.
Oh, you guys haven't seen that? Oh, I'm sure she's going to really get upset when those videos come out because they're all over X right now. That's not AI either. But, this is what happens, Candace, when you tear people down and you just rip them apart for no other reason than for you to grift dollars. Grifting for dollars. It's going to happen. People are going to assassinate your character, and you deserve it. You deserve everything in your life.
Karma.
You deserve to be sued into oblivion. I'm sorry. Everything you get, you deserve. It couldn't happen to a worse person. You are the devil. Here she is.
Conspiracies are so obsessed with their conspiracy. It wasn't working. It just wasn't working. And I don't believe that they have suddenly, since I met with Erica on December 15th, found all of this evidence.
Is this where you promised that you were going to stop and then you didn't?
That you are somehow privy to, and you wouldn't just share with the public, hey, we actually have a video of him taking a shot. That'd be great if you said that, but you haven't, his. You were never a friend of his. If anything I said on the show got called and pulled over from the defense, I would stand by every word that I said, okay? Every single word, because it's true. I told the truth.
Britney Spears.
And if I found out later that it was not correct, I did my best to correct everything that I've said. I've been open to dialogue. I said, come here, sit down with me. No, you want to, it's so overwhelming. Why don't you come sit down on my show, Blake? Come on, Blakey. Come sit down. If it's just so abundantly true and obvious, why wouldn't you want to come make me look like a fool on my own show?
Because you do that.
Yeah, you don't need anyone else to make you look like a fool on your own show.
You do it every day,
very
sweetie.
Well yourself.
By the way, that's that hand's up in that thing. What is up, Candy? You even look pregnant. So this is recent, Cupcake. I mean, I think she's pregnant. Is she pregnant in that picture, Mom?
I have no idea. It sure
look
looks
at that
like
thing.
it.
That looks like a baby bump, or maybe she's just happy to see her. Maybe she's the one with the dick. Maybe it's not Erica Kirk and it's not Macron. Maybe Candace is the one that has a dick. I don't know. Listen, I'm not. Listen, I'm just asking questions, Candace. Candy, I'm not saying you're a lesbian. I'm just asking questions. I'm just asking. I don't know. That looks pretty interesting to me.
Guys, it's me, Samantha. Who is this? I'm so perfect and pretty and skinny. And yeah, maybe Candace got a little chubby in quarantine, but at least I'm still cute because I'm Sammy Schwab. Hey guys.
Yeah, I'm just asking questions. On my bingo list, I never had Candace down as a jaded lesbian lover. You know what I mean? I mean, did she really want Charlie?
I was just going to say.
Or did she want Charlene? You know what I mean?
Second phone. Maybe she secretly loves Erica.
Oh, it's a love triangle. This is like a crying game type of thing.
Maybe.
Oh, she wants Erica. Yeah. She never wanted Charlie. Allegedly she wanted Eric. She wanted to diddle Erica Kirk. This makes sense now. Completely. Like it's like Celine Dion. It's all coming back to me now. You know what I mean? I think we have the answer. I think Candace is a lesbian who likes white girls. Oh boy. Whew. Get this out to the presses. Don't worry. The entire X is just turning on you like I said they would. Candace, don't worry. I know what's going to happen. I already told everybody. I said you're going to have a mental breakdown. And you're going to turn to alcohol or drugs or something else because you'll realize that everything you built your life on, that you're alone. Your husband will leave you. Your kids will ostracize you. The community that you once propped up and relegated your entire life to will turn on you. And then what are you going to have? And I hate to say it, but we know it. We've seen this story 100 times. We've seen it with people. We saw it with Whitney Houston. You'll OD or you'll take your own life, or you will just go off into obscurity. That's just the way it's going to happen, because this is what they do. They push you up into a place where they no longer want you anymore, and then they destroy you. This is every successful person. Look at Kevin frickin' Spacey. Kevin Spacey could do no wrong. Kevin Spacey was a hero. Everyone loved Kevin Spacey. Beautiful Mind, Oscars. They loved him as Kaiser Sose. Everything he did in House of Cards, he was a character actor. Then they destroyed him. They destroyed him.
Mm-hmm.
Look what they've done with the musicians. Look what they did to J.K. Rowling. They're going to turn on her. Candace is in some serious trouble.
Yeah.
Just wait. Mark my words, I haven't been wrong yet.
Bummer.
And I don't want those things to happen to her. I just know the personality. I know narcissistic, bipolar women because my mom was one of them. My sister's one of them. This is what they do. They will destroy themselves because when they can't, she right now, the dopamine hits she gets is from this power. When it fades, when people realize that she's just a nutter and that everything, when they take Tyler Robinson and they have the case on TV and they show that he is absolutely fucking guilty and that everything she said was a blatant lie, she will fade off into obscurity. She will try to regain the power. She'll try to blame other people. They will see how nuts she is and people will attack her who are being quiet now, including Meghan, including Tucker. Everybody will turn on her. And the reason why is because these people turn on everyone anyway. Ben Shapiro was the great white hope in 2016 to 2020. Ben Shapiro could do no wrong. Now look at him. He's been relegated into, he's just a dirty Jew. They're going to go after Candace too. And when they do, the difference between Ben Shapiro and her is Ben Shapiro did not invest his entire life in this thing. He had God. He had a family. He had his belief structure. Candace has nobody. She doesn't believe in God. She's not a Catholic. She's a demon. She was a lesbian progressive who hated Trump. Then she went ahead and got with Charlie Kirk and flipped on everybody, including her own race. Then once Charlie died and they ostracized her and Ben Shapiro fired her and she was not even invited to TPUSA or CPAC anymore and they literally put her on her own island, she went and did her own thing. And all the little Jew haters are coming to her. But what happens when Iran's done? What happens when they sign the Abraham Accords? What happens when Israel isn't in the news anymore? What happens when this is no big deal? What happens when Tyler Robinson's in jail and he gets a life sentence? Candace Owens will have nothing. She'll have no love. She'll have no friends. She'll have no God. And she will turn to a life of depression because that is who she is.
And then she'll call a local liquor store and say, everyone hates me and no one loves me.
Oh my God, talk about the truth. My mom, bookmark this because I've been right about all of them anyway. Wait, go ahead and hit it. I don't feel sad for Candace. Hate to say it.
You reap what you sow.
Candace.
You reap what you sow. Yes. Thank you, Bobby.
Bobby Rich said, Nody 2110, sorry for being so far and in between. Love you. We love you, Bobby. We appreciate you. Folks, 172, we're 225 basically away, 223. Watch what happens to Candace Owens.
120.
Whatever. Who cares?
127.
Watch what happens to Candace Owens. She's toast. I don't feel bad for her at all. Not after what she did. You literally just defiled the wife of an American hero. You're a scumbag. You're an evil, horrible piece of shite.
Yes.
Bill O'Reilly's been bringing the cook lately. Here it is. Watch this. This is really good. Bill O'Reilly, I struggle with sometimes, but he's been really bringing. I love his books, by the way. If you have not read Killing Kennedy, Killing Lincoln, they're so good. They are so freaking good. Killing the Empire, The Rising Sun, all of it is good. Read his stuff. Here's Bill O'Reilly.
How does any of what he's done with Iran tick any of those boxes? Because from where I'm sitting, it looks like he's done the complete opposite to what he campaigned on.
Well, you're asking a very legitimate question, but things change. So the threat level in Iran changed. And the information, and Graham spelled this out again in the podcast I did with him, was that, yes, the United States destroyed about 75% of the Iranian nuclear capacity last June, but they were weeks away from enriching uranium now so that they could make a nuclear weapon, a low-level one if they wanted, and hand it off. Trump got that intel. Then he got intel from Mossad, from Israel, that all the mullahs are going to be in one place at one time. This is after 6 weeks of negotiation where the Iranians basically said to the Americans, hey, blank you, gave us the middle finger. We're going to do what we want. We don't care what you say. Now, I talked to Donald Trump myself, one-on-one, private conversation on the phone, 1 week before the U.S. military action was launched. And that entire conversation was about making a deal. Trump did not want to do this. He didn't want to use military action. And we discussed
Robert, I got your text, by the way. You guys, Messenger is not good for me. I'm never too busy to answer you, but text my phone number. I gave you guys a chance to message me, Matt at the Dumb Show. If you want my phone number, ask me for my phone number. You can have it. I will give you my private phone number. But Messenger is not good for me. You guys, I get thousands of messages a day and I had to turn Messenger off on Facebook. My Matthew Spear account, I don't go to that. I don't even touch it. Instagram, I don't even know how to check personal messages, and I certainly don't check Twitter. I don't use social media for messaging. You text my personal phone number. Reach out to Olivia at the Dumb Show, or Matt at the Dumb Show. You can have my cell phone, okay? If you need to get a hold of me, that's how you get a hold of me, okay? I have no problem sharing my personal info with you. If you're annoying, I'm going to block you.
various ways that a deal might happen. My emphasis was on Beijing, okay? Get them in a position where we'll help them in a way that they need, China, in return for they pressure the mullahs to give up their nuclear construction. That was my idea, okay? But then, in the final meeting in Geneva with Witkoff and the Iranian representatives, okay, Iran said, look, there's no sense in talking any further. We're not going to stop. Now, when you say that to President Trump, what do you think's going to happen? He's not remembering what his campaign slogan was. He's saying these guys are serious. They're going to build a nuke, and I believe they'll use it. And I'm not taking the chance. And I got to, when the call came in, all of them are going to be in the same place. We're going to go knock them out. I would have done the same thing. How about you?
Well, I think, again, there's an inconsistency, I would argue, between the rhetoric that followed the 12-day war last summer, where everyone was assured we've neutralized the nuclear threat from Iran, and within 9-10 months, apparently it's all been rejuvenated. I find some part of that argument doesn't ring true. Either it wasn't true when they first said it, or it wasn't true in February.
That's not what he said.
They can't both be true.
If you can show me a quote where they said all of Iranians' nuclear weapon capacity has been destroyed, I will see the point. I can't find that quote.
Not all, but they made it. They made it clear. See, let me hypothesize.
They made it clear that they badly harmed Iran's ability to do it.
That's true.
But there were other labs working on the same thing that were not destroyed.
But let me offer you a different hypothesis, which I'm not.
You know, Trump is damned if he does, damned if he doesn't.
That's right, especially when it comes to
they're freaking out because he campaigned on no wars. I'm not going to get any wars. Blah 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 blah.
That's not what he said, though.
But that's what they're saying.
But they're wrong.
Let's
address what he actually said. Just before we go.
Yeah.
No more forever wars. That's what he said. And peace through strength. He never said that he would not lay down the law. He talked about blasting Iran since 1986. So I'm not saying you're saying different. I just want to make sure people understand this whole no new wars. That's never what he said.
That is a Democrat's.
He said no more forever wars. No more forever wars and peace through strength. He always said that.
Well, they're giving him crap for going in Iran, But here's the thing. If, say we had a terrorist attack on our soil.
Okay. Like an Arab coming in and shooting up a school?
Yes. Or something like that. Or another 9/11 or something like that. Something where a response needed to happen.
Sure.
They would complain about his response because he said, no new wars.
Right.
Or he's not going to respond because no new wars. And then they're going to.
You should say it like you did it before. We're like, no new wars. That high voice. Try it again.
No. I'll do it later.
Oh, you don't sound like that. Just saying. Okay.
But
so
if he didn't respond, then they would get all upset at him for not doing anything.
Right.
He can't do anything
He can't do anything.
There's nothing he can do right.
Nope. Everything he does is wrong. Doesn't matter.
Yes, it is.
What's new?
$172 to goal. Please, we are 128 away. Yeah, I can do math. 128 from hitting goal.
127.90. You're the one who corrected me earlier. You're the one who started this. I mean, like, come on. Like, what's going on?
You hold my baby. I'm going to pull up my knives.
You just hold my baby. Let's go, Pablo. Bill Maher on Joe Kent. Classic. Love Bill Maher. That's the one. You know what? People keep asking, who do you want to go see? Bill Maher. Because I think Bill Maher would disagree with some things and tear me apart. And I'd probably let him.
You have respect for him.
I'd just be like, Bill, that's awesome. I mean, I came here and I was waiting for you to do that to me, so thank you. And then I would hit him on things that he was being stupid about. But I think there'd be a mutual respect for each other because I think I can see both sides of an argument fairly consistently, and I think he can too. Here's Maher on Kent. Just beautiful. Watch this. This is great. If you guys had any doubt about Maher, this is it.
You have now this guy, Joe Kent. He quit this week. It was a big story. I think he was the counterintelligence guy. And he said, I can't go along with this because, you know what, he's been listening to too much Tucker Carlson. It's, you know, the Jews made us do it. It's just another version of anti-Semitism that comes out. First it was BDS, then it was their colonizers and genocide, which it wasn't, and all these other reasons, like you can't have a state in the world that's based on religion, even though there's like 46 Muslim countries that are based on religion. Some have the name right in the title of the country. But whatever it is, you have all these, and now the big answer is, no, Israel made us do it. We're Israel's. I don't think we're Israel's. I think we're Israel's ally. But, you know, if I have to be on one side of this MAGA thing, either Trump or Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, and Nick Fuentes, I'll be with Trump on this one. Because that's the other side of MAGA.
So weird when I find myself agreeing with him a lot more lately.
I know.
It's bizarre, right? But he's right.
So many people on our side have lost their minds.
They have lost their minds and it is just this crazy anti-Semitic cancer. And I don't know how that happened. Like, what is going on?
Ladies, I've been trying to get on your show now for a better part of a year because I actually like you two. You're probably two women that look like they should be on The View, but have absolutely no business being on The View because you're educated, you're smart, you make sense, and you're well put together. But if you've been watching my show, you would know for the last 5.5 years, I've been screaming from the rooftops that Bill Maher was one of the most misunderstood human beings on the planet. And Bill Maher just hated Trump. And that didn't make him a liberal. He just didn't like him. In fact, he's a moderate. He is absolutely fiscally conservative. He believes 100% in the First Amendment. He does absolutely believe in the right to bear arms. He is an absolute civil liberties aficionado and probably more of an ACLU supporter than the actual ACLU. He loves animals, which is ridiculous. And Bill Maher believes in unequivocal free speech, always. And I don't agree with him on everything. But I will tell you what. You guys somehow got hoodwinked thinking that he was this leftist. He's not. The man literally smokes weed, does coke, and drinks whiskey and sleeps with prostitutes. There's nothing more redneck about that than just about anything else. He is not an uptight beta. He's actually quite alpha. So Chicks on the Right, have me on your show, and I'll tell you more things that you didn't know for $100. It's about time. I think I've earned it. Damn it. I do like them. I love their show. I watch it every morning, but I'm just a little frustrated that they're like, who knew? Bill Maher, frying pans, who knew?
Frying pans, who knew?
Frying pans, who knew? Well, didn't we just say this? Folks, we're $127.90 away. Nothing's changed. We got 4 minutes. 4 minutes. We want to hit it. We definitely want to hit it. We got to hit it. We're not going to have a lot of overtime time. A little bit, but not a lot. So we need some help. Elitist Jimmy Kimmel hates working men. This, Jimmy Kimmel, but he was on the Man Show, right?
Man Show.
Plumbers and construction workers and girls on trampoline and ziggy zaki, oi, 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 drinking beers while boobs were bouncing up and down. Jimmy Kimmel, he's turned into an elitist dick. The opposite of Bill Maher. He is an absolute beta male.
Yeah.
Rudy Giuliani might not be with us much longer, but don't worry, Trump's got a whole new generation of thinkers lined up, including his newly confirmed Secretary of Homeland Security, Mark Wayne, Chuck Mike, Bruce Dave Mullen. Maybe Mellon's better. He is the now former senator of Oklahoma. Before he was elected to the Senate, Mark Wayne Mullen was a low-level MMA fighter and a plumber. That's right. We have a plumber protecting us from terrorism now. It worked for Super Mario. Why not Mark Wayne? But honestly, I mean, if Trump is going to keep picking these unqualified people to run the department, why not have more fun with it? I mean, next time, instead of Mark Wayne, how about Little Wayne for Homeland Security? At least we could get a concert out of it, right?
Racist.
Mullen is replacing Kristi Noem, who was ousted 3 weeks ago and will never be seen again.
Sexist.
If ABC is going to pick their late night
they can't hear you.
if ABC is going to pick their late night talk show hosts are completely unqualified, maybe they should pick somebody else.
When you have a really good one-liner, you tend to whisper. Deliver that son of a bitch. Like, make it hit. Like, just put it, yes, Ash, just like that. Right in the face. Just right in there. Make it happen. Give it to him. I agree with you. Jimmy Kimmel
He's not funny.
He's not funny, and he has no right to discuss anything about counterterrorism. You didn't talk about Mullen's time on the Senate Oversight Committee. You didn't understand he's on the Intelligence Committee. It doesn't take a lot to understand how to listen to your section chiefs to ensure that you have a broad knowledge of operational excellence. And it doesn't matter whether I was selling lotion. It doesn't matter whether I was selling washers and dryers. It doesn't matter whether I was selling video games or I was selling Apple computers or I was selling broadband internet. It's all sales. And project management and operational management is all the same too. And just because he works for the Department of Homeland Security and just because he is a director of that does not mean that he is making these decisions. He is an overseer. He provides oversight. He provides executive decisions, and he will be in the know with everything because he'll be briefed on it. Him being a plumber has nothing to do with it. As much as Jimmy Kimmel being a fat slob who's become an effeminate male makes him a better talk show host. Neither really have anything to do with the other. We have 1 minute, Liv. I don't know what to do. It's one of those nights. Last night we did the same thing, and then everybody came out and just poured it on. It's like it's my own little brand of personal torture. You know what I mean? And it's like they do it on purpose because one of these days I'm going to have a heart attack. And they're going to be like, oh, my God, Matt, we were just kidding. Look, here's your donations. You're going to be fine. But we're sitting in it. $172.10. We are still $127.90 away. You think I know that number? Mark Mullins is an Oklahoma Cherokee. He is qualified for everything. Yeah, and welfare and being an alcoholic. So go Indians. Sorry. It's just a little joke. I'm an equal opportunity employer. I make fun of everybody.
Apparently.
Here is Ice the Horror. Oh, this is horrible. I don't even know I can show this. I don't even want to show it. I got to hide my face. Guys, I thought Ice was innocent. I thought they were great. Don't throw up the mad face on the native Joe. Come on. Oh, knock it off. That hurts the show. You don't spam the mad face on Facebook. Who did that? It was Elizabeth. Elizabeth on Facebook. Elizabeth, you can't spam. That hurts the show. Take a joke. Geez, here, take one of these blankets to make yourself feel better.
Oh my gosh.
Was that wrong too? I've got a couple acres and some desert wasteland I can give you. Sorry. Tell Matt more about this, please. More about what?
I have no idea.
The ice horror. It's like Jimmy purposely extended another season since his BS on Charlie Shooter. Yeah, no shit. Don't be mad at me, Elizabeth. I love you. Stop the mad face. It hurts the show. I'm going to ban you. I'm going to ban you. If you do the mad face one more time, I'm going to ban you. Seriously, you're hurting the show. Knock it off. Have another way to communicate. Call me an asshole, but don't hit the mad face. It just hurts the show. Seriously. And if anyone else is doing it, you know what? I'm going to look it up and find out who did it. That's it. I'm going off. Yes, it is Elizabeth. I don't believe you. She's on the warpath. Ooh. Okay, stop it. Not funny.
Matthew.
I know it's horrible what I just did. It's completely wrong. Ice the horror. Uh-oh, somebody said, I know it's not you. Elizabeth, I know it's not you. It's called a joke. Get over it. Love you.
It wasn't me that I did not spam you on that. I promise you, I would never do that.
Somebody did. Somebody is counting coup on me. So.
But it was not me. But I am a Cherokee.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm making fun of you.
And you notice I was making fun of Mullins.
Yeah, I do. And you know, that's what's great about this show. We don't care who you are. A Jew, Gentile, black, white, lesbian. I mean, Candace Owens is a dyke, and we made fun of her. It's all good.
Exactly.
That's right.
Exactly. Tell me about it.
All right.
Let's just put it this way. Cherokees, if you want to get down to it, can you believe that Chief Chuck Hoskins, who is a Democrat, congratulated Mark Mullins?
Oh, well, see?
Yeah. We're Cherokees. We all stick together. We love to give each other a hard time.
Well, listen, Olivia and I wanted to send you a message about the rosary and wanted to say thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Unfortunately, the wind was blowing and our smoke signals couldn't make it all the way to Oklahoma today, but we wanted to say thank you for everything you've done, and we love you, and we appreciate you doing that for us.
That's horrible.
Well, I love you guys too, and I just had to get on here because I was like, no, it was not me that made that mad face. I promise you.
We were just kidding. There weren't even that
It's
bad. There was like 3 of them. Oh yeah, we know it is. We know it's our trolls because I won't give them any breath, and they hate it. They can't stand it. They're just like, I want to be relevant. It's like, you're not relevant. Go somewhere else. You're not going to be recognized. They try. All right, love you, Elizabeth. Got to go. Bye.
Thanks, Elizabeth.
All right, she's awesome. She's awesome. See, folks, it's called senses of humor, and there's nothing wrong with it. I coughed on your blanket joke. Thanks, JD. Cheryl Royster donated $30. My dad was a plumber. Well, good for him. Listen, tradesmen, there's nothing wrong with it. Tradesmen are rock star. We love them. We love them to death. Let's do this video. We got another one? Okay. Mel, you didn't call in tonight. Usually when you donate, you call. Well, you always donate. So we love you either way. Our someone who very much loves the Native Americans in Canada, Mel Lowe, $51.99. We love you, Mel. Thank you so much. Someone angry face reacted a bunch, and yeah, I really don't care. If you can't take a joke, then you're not going to like this show anyway.
Exactly.
Here it is. Ice, the horror. Here
Small children are in the room. Please.
Everyone just be careful because here's Ice. I mean, I was hoping that they were going to be really strong. Matt, I forgot to put Q in front. That's okay. We'll ask. Oh, the William Shakespeare debacle. Ask Thomas Austin for more. I don't know what we're talking about. What Q? Tell me what. Jackets are going out tomorrow. They were going to go out today. I screwed up. I got busy. They'll go out tomorrow. Jackets tomorrow. Everyone's going to get their jacket. That's Tammy.
February's winners.
Yes, February's winners. March gets at the end of the month. We're trying, folks. It's been crazy. Matt, I forgot to put. Oh, I already read that. Shakespeare thing was on Daily Mail. Okay, I'm moving on. I don't know what we're talking about. Ice.
He told me they're $4 up here.
They're free with us for $4 upstairs.
Yeah, when you get closer to TSA, it gets more expensive. I thought what y'all do. You take our waters now, and then you charge us for waters upstairs.
I'll give you guys a hint. Mad face reactions don't hurt the show. It actually helps. All interactions help the show. Facebook removed that about 6 months ago, but shh, don't tell the trolls. Just keep mad space, and we don't care. We love it. But you have to go out and like it, folks, because honestly, we have 93 likes, and that's unacceptable. Last night we had like 200 people on, and we had like 94 likes. We will not be denied. Go hit that like button, please. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. You may. Water? You're not too far from the bathroom, so we'll hold your spot in line. Thank you. Would you like water? Thank you.
You know what's really nice about
You can tell
that?
the people that are totally against ice. They're just brushing them off.
Yeah, but you know what the great thing about that is that no matter what, it's still ice water. So that's nice and cool and refreshing. That's great.
You're welcome.
That's horrible.
It wasn't horrible. It's good. It's ice water.
It was horrible.
It's cool and refreshing. Well, it should be like a Mentos commercial where some ice guy is like, Mentos
bad.
freshness.
Oh.
Fresh, make it full of life.
Oh
Ice
my
water
gosh.
from ice. Here's more horror from ice. Oh, it's just the travesty. Now, see, that's going to be warm water because he's Border Patrol.
Don't be shy. The bathroom is down that hall. Yeah, this time I'll take it. Thank you so much. Y'all have a big flight. Where are y'all heading to today? Rio? Oh, nice.
If you're going to Rio, you might want to take a few more bottles of water to brush your teeth. Otherwise, you're going to have the shits for a month. I'm going to Puerto Vallarta. Well, here, just take the whole case, lady.
Down the hall. We'll hold your spot in line. I promise.
Folks, 25409, we are way behind. It's a huge behind, like my wife has. We need some help. It's sexy as hell. Be quiet. You have a great butt. Great ass! Ferocious, ain't I? Yeah.
How was my question? No, yeah, if you need to go, seriously, yeah. No, I'm fine. Just thank you so much.
You got an Irish guy there, so thank you so much. Appreciate the water. I can't believe it. It's fantastic. Seriously, so horrible. So horrible. Here is, we've got some good news. The last two are great, but this one is still great, but not as good as the final two. Carolyn Levitt goes off on Raskin and Jack Smith lies. If you don't know this, Jack Smith is back in the news because this guy, like, literally has the biggest hard-on for Donald Trump. Jim, don't leave. It's only 9 o'clock. Like, unless you're in Brazil, where are you? You don't have to leave at 9 o'clock. We got 5 minutes left. 5 minutes. Hang tight. Carolyn Levitt, Raskin, Jack Smith lies.
Does the White House have a comment on a letter that was sent from Congressman Raskin to the DOJ alleging that the DOJ recklessly released damning information in regards to President Trump's documents?
Yes, I saw that letter from Congressman Raskin this morning, who I would add has zero credibility, and this letter was clearly a cheap political stunt. What the congressman did here, Brian, and for everyone in the room who's hopefully not reporting on this as fact, is that he took untrue and salacious claims in a memo that was produced by Jack Smith, who has been completely discredited for his lawfare and his witch hunts against this president, and that information was unverified. It never even made it into the indictment because it was so unverified. And what happened to that indictment anyway? It was thrown out. And Jack Smith has been proven, again, to be a prosecutor on a witch hunt against President Trump. He tried to throw him in jail ahead of the 2024 election. The Biden Department of Justice was fully on board with this lawfare campaign. And in fact, this story that was concocted by Congressman Raskin was so ridiculous, I understand his communications team reached out to some outlets in this room who responsibly said, we're not going to write this because this is just too much. However, of course, MS Now did write that story this morning because they continue to be left-wing propaganda for the Democrat Party. But I think Jack Smith has been proven to be a liar and a fraud. And this is, again, a cheap political stunt from a Democrat on Capitol Hill who I think wants to get himself on cable television.
Damn.
Good for her.
Cooked. We will end it with this, folks. We've covered this story for 3 nights. The Jack Reacher story. Leroy and I talked about it. Olivia and I talked about it. Do we have anyone who's going to save the day? Folks, we're at 254.09. We're so very, very close. We are $55.91 away. We are so very close. Without you, we can't do it. I don't have anything better than that. So if you're there, God, it's me, Matthew, and I need some help. It's me, Margaret. What are you doing?
You said if you're there.
That was too fast.
Oh.
There's no way that Chuck Peterson, donated $150, been offline for a couple days. Glad to be back. Good to be back. Thank you, Chucky. We love you, man. Thank you guys so much. Thank you.
Sorry, wrong timing. I was like.
No, I'm just surprised it came in that fast. I'm like, that was like made to order. That was like. I'm gonna sync that up with a light, which I can do, and I'm gonna make that light turn on over our positions when we play the God song.
It came in a couple minutes ago, but I was waiting for the end of the video, so.
I got it. I see. Okay. All right, folks. Here is the new Jack Reacher season 4. This is exciting stuff. Diane Ramirez, you're amazing. Thank you. Nice hearing that which needs to be said out loud. Yeah. Either you're talking about Carolyn Levitt or us. Keith, good to see you, buddy. Good to have you in here. Keith, you're one of the. I've been hard on you sometimes. I love you, and I'm sorry for being hard on you. Haven't seen you around. So now that I know you're always here, but you're chatting. So sorry for being a grumpy dick sometimes. Sometimes I took things a little too seriously. You're like one of 3 people I'm going to apologize to. Don't get used to it, folks. It's not going to happen very often. Jack Reacher, the new season 4. Here it is. We've been covering this. Olivia and I covered it the other night. Alan Richson. And then Leroy and I covered it last night. Here is the new trailer. You'll find this funny. Here it is.
In a quiet neighborhood, one man saw a motorcycle and still chose chaos. Look at the fucking motorcycle pricks. One terrible decision, what should have been an apology, became a neighborhood event.
What are you gonna do? You've been driving around my neighborhood like a fucking lunatic! Hit me, you piece of shit!
Gladly. This summer, don't be a little bit.
I never did like that neighbor.
Pretty funny. Folks, thanks for watching the Don't Unfriend Me show. We appreciate you. Diane Ramirez came in with $5.75 and says, keep going. We will. We will do our best.
Sorry, the Streamlabs had a issue. It went down for a few minutes.
That's okay. So thank you, Diane. We love you. That's a good number, 40984. It's probably when 409 came out. You guys remember 409, the cleaner, the degreaser? Formula 409 for those tough kitchen grease stains. 409 was amazing. Then it caused cancer, and I don't think it may make it anymore.
I remember it, but I was too young when it came out. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway, so welcome to the end of the show, folks. If you have not seen the show, we do this every night at 7 o'clock, Monday through Friday. You can go over to thedumbshow.com/donate, and you can get yourself cool hats and shirts. By the way, the Avs won last night. Dallas Stars lost. We're up 7 points, and we have a game in hand. It's looking pretty good for the Avs to win the President's Cup trophy and be the best team in hockey. We're doing pretty well.
And if you don't know what a game in hand is, it means they've played one more game than us,
which is essentially 2 points. So we're up by 9 points. If we take advantage of it. We've got a 730 win percentage. I'm pretty confident that pretty much is in the can. I think the Avs are going to do, knock on wood, win out for the rest of the season. I'm pretty sure. I think they're going to go on a 15-game winning streak. They're locked in. They look really good, and they want to go into it with some steam. Folks, we're going to see you tomorrow. Who do we have here tomorrow? Olivia's going to be back tomorrow. Olivia's going to be in the house again. Yay!
Yep, Brian Cook will be on tomorrow. So
Brian Cook will be here. Who's Brian Cook?
Brian Cook is someone I found on Facebook, and he had a very interesting story that he posted. And I was like, oh, that could be interesting. And I found out that he's actually a Marine. And he, after the Marines, he was law enforcement. He worked with dogs, if I'm not mistaken. He was a dog officer. And then he is quit that. And now he's an entrepreneur and starts businesses. And he lives in Montana. I had no idea.
Oh, great. Another one you dated.
No, he just moved to Montana.
Yeah.
Didn't know him.
Which means he left Montana right after you left, tried to find you, couldn't find you, and now is moving back because Paul put a picture of you two on Facebook, and he's like, there's Olivia. I've got to find her. This is all a conspiracy. It's all connected, bro. Candace told me so. She said she knows. Folks, we'll be back tomorrow. It's all about the Jews did it. See you at 7 o'clock tomorrow. God bless. Thanks for watching the Don't Unfriend Me show. Good night, everybody. See you. Bye.
Night, y'all.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy.
Yes,
and
Jim, you now can go.
Politics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.